It's a wonderful, what is today? Is today Friday? I think it's Friday afternoon. And it is a nice day. Finished up planting corn late last night. Planted into those cover crop fields, and then I went in even later last night and terminated with Roundup and Enlist. So that's done. Custom corn spraying's done as well. I did that last night. So today we have to pull the planter out, clean the seed out, pull the seed discs, because apparently you're supposed to store those separately. Had no idea until this year. Suck the fertilizer out, probably go ahead and winterize that, I guess. I don't know. I don't have RV antifreeze here at the moment. I'll have to get a new drum of that because we'll use it for the sprayer too this fall. But we're gonna get the planter ready to go in the barn for long-term storage. Dad's truck is sitting here. You can see there's no wheels on it. Dad took them off. He's going and getting new tires put on. Tires started separating. He got pretty good use of off of those tires. Those were Cooper AT2s. I think he's going with AT2s again. I like the AT3s. That's what I run on my truck, and I'm due to get 2 new ones put on next week. Little update on what's going on in the shop. Our Ranger's in here. We bought a compression tester kit at Harbor Freight, and we have to compression test this motor and see if the top end needs to be rebuilt, because it just cranks and cranks and cranks, and you end up flooding the carburetor, but it's not, there's no pull for fuel going into the engine, so that's why we think it lost compression. This is a neighbor's lawnmower we're working on, and obviously this is still in here. No progress done on this whatsoever. So honestly, we made out fairly well with this planter this year, other than a few drive issues, which we will hopefully have solved next year. I have a, I think it's Pecoya is how you pronounce it, Pecoya planting catalog up in the house, and we're looking at getting a top drive system, because all of the problems that we have come across have been down on these wheel units, which getting into heavy residue like corn stubble, you'll end up breaking chains or throwing them and then breaking them, stuff like that. And then also, for some reason, just randomly, half of the planter or the entire planter, which is even more peculiar that the whole planter at the same time will stop planting. And you'll be looking down, and it's just something to do with, it's got to be these clutches. That's the only place where something can slip. And the drives in the back won't be moving, but these ones will be. And so all of a sudden they'll just come back online and you'll be fine again. You just got to fill in that area where you know it wasn't planting. So we're looking at getting a top drive system for this, or if a top drive system is the majority of the cost that it takes to go to electric meters, I would much rather go to electric meters. But top drive system is where you have a wheel that runs on top of this wheel, and so nothing is down on ground level like that stuff. It's all up in the air, so you would literally just have it on this wheel. It would sit up, and a shaft would go across on this side, and it would come down and drive this gear. You eliminate everything before that, and then you'd have the identical situation on this side. Because this is a folding planter, you would have to have 2 different ones. But that is what we're looking at. But like I said, I'd rather have electric meters if it costs not too much more to go the rest of that route, because it looks like it's going to be almost, not quite, but almost $1,000 per half of the planter to do that, between $800 and $900 probably. So that gets you pretty far down the electric meter route, I'm pretty sure, but I'm not 100% on that. We'll have to do some pricing and stuff before next year. Closing wheels have held up. Looks like we'll get another season out of these ones. The plan is to run these until they wear out and then go to cast, which, for anybody wondering, Pecoya Planting is the cheapest place now that I've seen to buy these Yetter wheels. They're about $156 a row through them to get just the rings, but if you need the whole wheel, I think it was like $250, and then it was like just about 300 for the cast. So, which for us, I think they were about $210 a row when we put all these ones on. So they've come down in cost. Totally tubulars, worked fantastic. We lost that one drag hose. That was it. We did pull apart somehow without even going around a field board or something. We pulled this half-turn T-jet fitting. The whole push in pulled apart. We had one line pop off down at the T-jet. Other than that, fantastic. It took a while to get our rate dialed in. Took about 11 acres. I put all our calculations in through the Wilger calculator to show you what PSI you had to run, and it was 40% low from where our actual ran. So Wilger told us on the website to run at 11 PSI to go 3 mile an hour, and then to run 15 PSI to run 3.5 miles an hour. So we set at 15, and we ended up by the end of the field being set at 25, and that got us 24 gallons and some change to the acre. That was what we were happy with. We may dial up just a little bit more next year, but we'll see what our nitrogen use ends up being. We will be going through with a side dress pass to supplement the rest of the nitrogen. So anyway, electric pumps worked flawlessly. Obviously we, with those wireless things, we had problems with this side right off the bat. Didn't even work in the driveway, so ripped that off, got a hard switch in the cab, and we will do the same thing with that side. I'm just going to get a double or triple switch bank on Amazon and install it in the tractor. Both of the wires for both sides run right behind the seat, so I only need like 3 feet of wire total to run all that. Won't be a big deal. Lines all worked, no problems folding, unfolding. That was a big stressful part for me. And yeah, everything just worked. We may look at getting a monitoring system so that we can verify our rate on the go, because right now you're just filling and then seeing how far you get on that fill and estimating. It's all estimations at this point. So if we can get a monitoring system, they make one that pops right into these manifolds. That'll be really awesome. And then we just have, we used to run an iPad in the cab with our precision software, so we would just run one with our Wilger software. And then, let's see what else was new. Fertilizer system's good. Row cleaners, this thing ran just about every acre. Now when we were mudding, we smeared a little bit of beans in some places. When we did that, we had to put it up because it would just push some mud balls. But other than that, I think it was up in the cover crop, in the thick cover crop. In the rye, it did fantastic. I showed you guys, I think, where the rye is, where the row cleaner was down and where it was up. I say there's a 10% stand increase where the row cleaner was down compared to up. We ran it in tilled ground, did fantastic. Corn stubble did fantastic. Bean stubble really did fantastic, planting corn into bean stubble and soybeans into bean stubble. That is all the new stuff I think we put on. Next year, I don't know. I'll see what sort of wear is on these bushings that I just put on, because I put these bushings on these closing wheel tails and found out literally a week later that there's a weld-on kit for putting bearings in, which I would much rather have the bearings. There's still some slop in quite a few of them, so we'll see if that's something we're gonna do. We are putting new opener discs on because we had a 1/4 inch when we started this season, and they are probably shot by now. We may try a row or two of those serrated opener discs. We'll see. Those are quite expensive. They're $200 or $300 a row. So we'll try 1 or 2 maybe. And then so far everything else I think held up. Did a good job. Gauge wheel rubber, we may have to replace. I don't know. We might be able to get another season off of that, but overall, I'm happy with what we got. The beans that are up are just beautiful, just picket fence stand. No corn's up yet, that's kind of the most stressful thing about having this 12-row planter, is we can get our corn done so fast that you can't tell if we had a problem, a serious problem or not, in the ground until you're done packed up in the barn. So we'll see what our corn looks like. It should be up here in the next day or two, and we'll just leave stuff hooked up probably. We do have to fit some ground for a hay seeding, so we'll borrow the tractor for that. But other than that, I'm gonna get this thing blown off, get the fertilizer sucked out. Shouldn't be much of anything in here for seed. No, there's not. And then we'll call it a good planting season, I think. I just went through, emptied all the seed boxes, removed all the seed plates, blew out all the meters with a leaf blower, and then we just got done sucking all the 28 out. I went and put that back in the big tank, and I brought some water over and ran about 100 gallons of water in there. So now we're gonna start this tractor up and get the pumps rolling, and we will let everything clean out. So I'll pull this button, start that pump over there. Grab my fob. So this is a little low from where we were running in the field. That might just be because it's water now. We're running 25 PSI. It's starting to rain a little bit. So this is what the dribble looks like when it's out in the field. But this is water, so it's probably a little bit different. So when you're running along, that's how much liquid's coming out at 3.5 miles an hour. Some of the hoses got a little tweaked running in through the cover crop. That's all right. Let this thing run. See what this one's at for pressure. This one dropped a little bit too. That could just be from the screens, might have some stuff in them, so we will go through and drop the screens, clean them out, and then should be all set. I'm gonna get a drum of RV antifreeze coming, and then we'll run that through when we get it, and make sure the water's all out of the system so that it doesn't. The water pushes the 28 out, which keeps everything from corroding, and then the RV antifreeze pushes the water out, which keeps everything from freezing. So kind of a step-by-step here. Yeah, we'll see. We'll probably bump that up to 26 next year and run it at 26 or 27 to get a full 25 gallons. But it did good this year. I'm really impressed with that. We've had some liquid fertilizer systems with some real gremlins in them that we've had a lot of problems with, but this was just bulletproof from the beginning of the year to the end. So we'll see how it runs next year. I will be very interested to see. Another thing we'll do before it goes in the barn, we'll undo all the springs on the closing wheels, put them in the neutral position, put all of these springs in the neutral position, and I believe that's all the spring tension stuff, so that'll be all set. Next year, this planter will probably be getting all new roller chains if we do ground drive again, just to prevent problems from happening in the field.